Mr. Fuest, overall, does the recent economic data in Germany and the wider euro area make you confident that we'll see a better slowdown, a less severe slowdown than expected?
This is certainly positive data coming in here, but we shouldn't forget that this data has two components. As you said, one is expectations and the other is the current situation. So the current situation, companies are telling us, is still very bad, but the expectation is that this is increasing. Now, if companies say this at a very low level, in a very bad situation, if they say it's increasing, that's different from being in a normal situation and saying it's coming better. So in a way, it's unsurprising that a large number of companies saying this is getting better because we are starting from such a low level. Still, this is a positive sign, so we can expect to be on the way towards a recovery.
Do you expect the German government to provide any additional stimulus in the autumn?
This will depend on how the economy develops until the autumn. I think in the current situation, they would tend not to do so, but we don't know what's happening in the autumn. There are concerns that we may have more outbreaks, that more may be happening. So one concern was that people wouldn't go back to the shops and spend. And what we now see is that, yes, it seems that people are spending, consumers are spending. So the concern that there will be sluggish consumer demand, this concern is going away at the moment. But we don't know what's happening in the autumn. Uncertainty is still very high.
What are you expecting the ECB to do extra? I mean, is there anything that they could do that would target the right things?
I don't expect them to come up with more stimulus at the moment. I think the ECB is also seeing that the economy is recovering. The difficulties we still have, I suppose, are not easily addressed. One of the challenges, for instance, is the development in the US, so there's little the ECB can do about that. Another issue is that, for instance, in the car industry, the recovery is very slow. But I don't think the ECB can address those issues very easily. And there has been a lot of stimulus. I think what the ECB is doing now is see the impact, certainly be ready to act if things get worse in the autumn.
What are companies telling you about their concern about a second wave hitting Germany? And what does that mean for their CapEx and hiring plans?
Companies do see the situation as a fragile one, as being fraught with uncertainty. Still, they are planning to reduce the workforce further at this moment. So there's no turnaround yet at the labor market. But in terms of the general business situation, they are seeing order flows are starting to come again. So there is a certain stabilization, but we are not beyond the crisis in the sense that that companies aren't hiring yet. They are still waiting.
Will the sort of spat or flaring up of tensions between the US and China actually dent the German animal spirit? Are our chief executives going to be even more careful because of that?
They are certainly watching this very carefully. Now, US-China tensions are not really new, so we have seen this conflict for some time. There were hopes, certainly, that this might go away a little bit in the crisis, which it doesn't. So this is an ongoing concern. At the same time, the economy in China is recovering, and so is Chinese demand for German goods. So China is one of the positive factors at the moment. Certainly, these tensions are a problem, but I don't think they are considered as a major or in any way a new obstacle for German companies.